Okay, this review is a quick review of Oak Creek Golf Club in Sedonia, Arizona, which is about 50 miles, well, about 40 miles south of Flagstaff in Arizona. It is between Route 89 and Route 17, US Highway 17, and it is in the middle of the Red Rock Mountains, northwest of Route 17, the Sedonia rest stop. And I say that because there are two rest stops you will pass on the way north from Phoenix. And Phoenix is where the Golden Triangle is, and the Golden Triangle is where Tucson is, and a couple of other small towns that are southwest of Phoenix, and that's where all the golf is in the Phoenix area. I happen to have driven through all that at night, and then I drove up to Sedonia during the day. And the reason I did so is because there weren't really any mountains to be seen once you get, on the flatland where Tucson is. And I didn't know that they were all the golf courses in the Golden Triangle in around Tucson or southeast of Phoenix. So I get all the way up through Phoenix and I say, okay, let me see if I can find some place to play around here. Check the info at the rest stop, and they're like, oh, the Golden Triangle, great place to go play golf. And like, oh, that's like, an hour, 100 miles back south of me where I am on 17. So I say, well, pull up the golf now. Luckily, just happened to find a hot deal at this course called Oaktree Golf Club for $38 at 2 o'clock on Friday or Saturday? Friday. And got in there, got it, and it was a decent enough course, but it wasn't the kind of course I was really looking for, which was more, I found out later was the Sedonia Golf Club course, which is like a 10-minute walk down from the Oaktree Golf Club. After spending half an hour in the vicinity of Oaktree looking for the course and driving by it thinking it was actually a course called Red Gate because that's what's on the dining area entrance, and getting ready to get very upset after driving through this. This is obviously a golf course. There's obviously a driving range, but you don't really see the Oaktree Golf Club sign because it's off the side. It's on the side of the front, and the most prominent sign there is Red Gate, which is why I had a picture of it at front. I said fine. I finally saw it. Said okay. Now, if I had just kept going down that same road and I'd gone to the next turnabout, I would have seen the Sedonia Golf Club, and that is really the course I really would have wanted to play, which is more vertical. I am told has no real waste. It's sand and gravel and cacti and stuff like that. No real waste, as it were. Like tall grass, maybe some tall grass, but I don't know. I didn't actually go there. But it's much more of a desert course than Oaktree Golf Course, which is more of a country club course in the middle of a neighborhood, which I knew because I was able to go, pull it up on Golf Now. I could see what was going on. I was like, okay, well, let's just see what's going on with it. And it was actually a nice looking course. It was in good shape, very well watered, which was a challenge for them, I'm sure, because the entire country has been in a drought except for parts of the south, which have been flooded and stuff, but mainly most of the United States has had a severe drought this summer. This course, you'd never would have known it, was well watered. Fairways were in nice shape. The greens were in good shape, and the fairways were decently wide. They had palm trees out there and everything. There are only two strikes I really give to this course. It's a slope 135 course. It's about 6,500 yards from the back tees. But the biggest problem it has with it is that same old problem with just about every neighborhood woods course, except this one has it in the extreme. There are courses literally on every square inch of this course. Houses on every square inch of this course, except where you can play. Pretty much every freaking square inch, except the gullies, washouts. There is a house there, or it is someone's small backyard. Not a big backyard, not bad, but not big either. The houses are no more than a golf throw away from the fairway on both sides of the fairway, except where the course loops back. You know, like if there's a par 4 going down the left side and you turn and you go back and there's a par 4 going to the other side, there won't be houses in the middle. There'll be trees in the middle, but there will be houses all around the outside of that perimeter. And they have a lot of houses on this course. The only redeeming feature is that it is a nice architecture. And for the most part, unless you stare directly at the houses, you won't really notice them. Unless you hit over there. Now, if you want to pull out your big sticks and you have trouble keeping them on the course, you're really going to have trouble keeping them on the course on this course. This course is not a risky player's course. You have to hit reasonably straight. It's not like you have to be perfect. There's no question, but you don't get much room to hit off the course where the houses are. I certainly remember driving up the cart path near a green on a couple of holes, and there was like the cart path. There was the green, there was the rough around the green, there was a cart path, and there was an OB stake right next to the cart path. And then right past that was the corner of someone's, you know, wood, stone fence encapsulating their backyard. And then just past that was a big pane of glass where their house was. And this is on the side of a green, on the side of a 375-yard par 4. You literally, you know, could do some serious damage on this course if you have trouble keeping your ball even moderately close to the fairways and to the green. Okay, there were some spaces, yes, where you could go off the green, you know, off the side of the green, you know, maybe 20 yards or so, some spaces like that. But there were also some spaces where you could not, and the greens were large enough, and it was easily on some holes I could see would be a real challenge to not hit someone's house if you missed the green. Okay, I mean, I'm just saying it was probably one of the worst cases of housing fouling on a golf course I've ever seen, with the only redeeming features that the houses were nice adobe style, you know, ramblers or adobe style split levels or something like that. And there was a lot of you know, cliffs and stuff, red cliffs and stuff in the background. It was very picturesque. It was very nice looking course. It wasn't anything outstanding. It wasn't like any really big houses, huge houses or something like that, or, you know, like some courses that I played, which I won't mention again. But it was a modest but nice looking course, certainly a decent course to go out and play, you know, with your wife and kids, and certainly, you know, if you've got friends and family and they want to play something, you go out. But I would say at the same time, you're going to have to be really careful not to have, you know, anyone who doesn't really know how to play tattoo one of those houses, because it was exceptionally easy to do it. So in the end, I think it was a good course. The greens were rolled down almost like concrete because they had just had a tournament, an instructor's tournament there the week before, and the greens were very fast. They had the pins as in as precarious a position as possible. Many times I, played to the greens with slightly left or right and went off the green or into a lake or something like that, or behind the green or something like that. And a lot of times they had the greens in, sort of the center of the green, the pins in the sort of center of the green, but they were on a little wave or slope or rump or something. The ball would just roll right by it, keep going. I didn't have any times when it just rolled off the green from our putts, but it would roll pretty close to the edge. You had to be very, very, very good putting this course to putt it. It was a very good challenge. But it was a fun course. It wasn't long. It was long enough. It wasn't tight. It was tight enough. And it wasn't that it had so much trouble and waste on it, but it had enough trouble and waste on it. And there was some water, but not too much water. And it was a good challenge to play golf. And then you got on the greens, and the putting was just, whoa, like up two notches from just getting on the green. No elevated greens, no really long carries off the tee, but a normal course until you get on the green and then just raise it up 2 notches from there. I had a good time playing it. It was somewhat less of what I was looking for, but it was still a good outing, a good solid round of golf. I give it a B, and it was certainly picturesque. And I would say if you want more than that, you want more of a challenge, try the Sedonia Golf Club course, which is right down the street towards US 17 on the same 89. Big stone sign there. Once you get off of Oaktree and go back to that circle, it's right there. So it was a good combination. It was an interesting possibility to play both courses, the same day or the next day or something, and compare and contrast them. But unfortunately, I ran short of time and money to do so. Otherwise, I would have definitely stayed there over the weekend and done it, and made a good outing of it. So that's Oaktree / Sedonia Golf Club in Sedonia, Arizona.